Warning: bad or taboo language.
Possibly.
Why?
Record, recording in progress because I've got to record it.
You got to press it again or something.
Okay.
Dunno.
Hello.
Welcome.
Welcome everybody to episode 15 of the Weirdo Club. Um, with lawyer brain partly engaged at this side of the desk or the screen, but we won't go into that because it's private and confidential.
Private and confidential.
Been in the lawyer brain all morning actually. Um,
Wait, it's Monday. It is Monday.
Not
It's
necessarily.
officially the working week.
Time has no
You're
meaning, man.
probably on a golf course by now, aren't you? But
Yeah, getting
living
withdrawal
the lawyer
symptoms.
life, isn't it?
Well, there's some. It is alleged sometimes. It's sometimes a little bit apocryphal that I don't really do court-based work anymore. I haven't done for a while, but it was apocryphal that certain judges would manage their time on a Friday so they could get to lunch and then golf,
Hmm.
which we're all human beings, aren't we? We have our needs and stuff. So we shouldn't perhaps
Oh,
criticize
he's
them for
swapping glasses again. Look,
that.
he's
No, I'm
on it.
not
Look,
actually.
eyes on.
Paranoid now. I just sometimes it just gets tiring wearing glasses. Um, yeah. I've got actually
Scarred for life, Steve. Scarred for life.
the bond of trust was broken.
It's broken, smashed to pieces, smashed to pieces.
You haven't seen these though, have you?
Nice,
You're not going to
nice.
get away with that. I
No,
never would.
you could do if I was so distracted, then I reckon you could. To be fair,
Yeah,
I was
I don't really wear sunglasses because I don't subscribe. I think we need UV light to hit the back of our eyes. I think we need UV light to hit our unprotected skin, especially in this country. And we don't advocate anybody, we've got to be
staring at the
careful
sun
here.
for hours on end.
Yeah. Or sitting in the sun for hours and getting melanoma.
Yeah,
Always consult your healthcare professional. We are not
always.
qualified to give healthcare advice.
I pondered this a few years back. Just not just the use of sunglasses, but also the use of lights in general. I think being in the dark is healthy and good for our eyes. Like walking in the dark as well, because we go out now, we use torches and head torches and everything like that. But it's quite nice just to walk in the dark and sit in the dark, because I think that's good for your eyes as well, rather than this artificial light and stimulation. I think the contrast, because everything's about balance, isn't it? I had this musings a few years back, because your eyes adjust, don't they? I think it's important for your eyes to be able to adjust between light and dark and all that kind of stuff.
There's
So
something
yeah,
I don't do that. Although very occasionally, when I used to, I don't run anymore because in fact, I stopped when I
bad
was
for you.
40.
That's why running's bad for you.
I think it
Again, seek
is.
medical advice first. But
Yeah, we're not healthcare. Don't run. Don't use
sit in the sun all
sunscreen.
day and don't run.
Walk around in the
Stare at the
dark.
sun.
Yeah. Stare directly at the sun. Honestly, it won't do anything to you. Honestly.
Disclaimer,
Don't,
disclaimer.
don't listen to all those goddamn doctors. They don't know anything. Um, when I used to, well, actually, I did it recently. So where we live, there's a dog walk, and there's quite a long stretch, straight stretch down a road that goes down a hill or up a hill, depending on which way you're coming. And so, obviously, with the dog on a lead, it's a bit different. But whether I have the dog or not, I sometimes walk with my eyes closed
Mm.
and try to. God, I really am weird. So with the dog, it was a bit like on this occasion, it was like, wonder what it's like to have a guide dog. So close my eyes and in effect, but he's such a nutter Parker.
I was going to say it really depends on the dog's training.
Walked into a post and crushed my nuts.
Yeah, yeah. I
Um,
mean, when I was a kid, I used to ride my bike with my eyes closed sometimes just to see how far I could get, and that
yeah,
always ended in pain as well. To be fair.
near a viaduct.
Yeah.
On a viaduct. You're
Yeah.
just an avatar, aren't you, from the other world, aren't you?
Yeah.
Really? You died when
Yeah.
you were 7.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fell off a viaduct on your bike with your
Mm,
eyes closed.
yeah.
Yeah, well, that's exactly the same thing. Run or walk with my eyes closed to see how far I could get before absolutely shitting,
Mm.
before getting scared. And oh, hey, 6 minutes.
All right.
All
We're
right,
clear. We're clear. We're
clear.
clear.
Seb says it's 2 minutes, not 5.
It was 1 minute you said the other week. Oh, because
1 minute. Seb's,
episode 13, I think, because I listened to it just the other
oh,
day. Yeah. Yeah.
rewind. Seb says
Yeah.
it's one
And I
minute.
think 1 minute. Yeah.
Anyway,
I
so
think we've broken that as well, haven't we? At some point, not
probably,
today, maybe, but.
probably. Oh,
Mm.
the other day, actually, yeah. The other, I had to bleep it out. Which one is it? Oh, it's not been released yet. 14.
Oh, did we start
Yeah.
off with swearing?
Yeah, because it goes the recording in progress thing, and you're like, I thought we were going to restart it. And I'm like, oh, fuck yeah.
There you go. Straight off the bat.
Didn't even get 10 seconds in.
No, no.
Anyway, does it work if you put. Anyway, right, come on.
Healthy expression.
I think so too.
Mm.
I think so too. And I learned, or I put it together in my mind for the first time yesterday, that the suppression of emotions is a conscious thing and the repression of emotions is a subconscious thing. Um, I realized there was suppression and repression,
Mm.
but I hadn't ever really twigged it to say,
One was
um,
conscious and yeah.
yeah. And if you think about it, it is true. I never really thought about it, to be honest. I just know that quite often I suppress emotion for fear of upsetting other people and getting out of control, frankly. But we must also repress it without knowing.
Mm.
All this programming, you're like, you're not allowed to make a scene, you're not allowed to cry. I mean, that came up in the Free Man, didn't it?
Hmm.
Like, how much of being unable to cry or not allowing ourselves to cry as men is probably repression.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not conscious at the time, it's
No.
subconscious and it's just repression.
It's all that programming as kids from parents, isn't it? And I've been guilty of it, telling my kid not to cry, telling my kid not to run, telling my kid not to shout or to dance or to, it's not on reflection that I'm like, why have I done that to him? Why have I taught him to suppress or repress? Suppress to start off with because you have to do it consciously and then it turns into subconscious, isn't it? Because the
Yeah,
subconscious actions, when we repeat them and repeat them and repeat them, it becomes subconscious action, doesn't it? Because we get the neural pathways in line and registered and locked into place, don't we? And then we don't even have to think about that. That's why we don't remember how we get from A to B when we drive sometimes because it's such an automatic route, isn't it? It's like I actually drove back to the wrong house once when I moved. I got in the car after work and I was just an automatic pulled up and I was like, I don't live here anymore. If I go around the corner.
I'm not sure I've done that.
Yeah, I've done that.
Trying to think. I've definitely like got in the car and just started driving to the place of work before now when I wasn't going to work
Mm.
and thinking, oh yeah, the routes that you drive every day or all the time, and then you
I
go
did
to
another
work.
one when I was drunk that I left the pub and I had been staying at my brother's, but I'd moved out of my brother's and had my own place.
But you
But I
were
left the
walking.
I was walking, yeah, yeah, definitely walking this time. And I was automatic programmed to go back to my brother's house, even though I'd moved out of my brother's house and was living somewhere else. But what's even stranger is I didn't even get to my brother's house. I just started trying to put the door key in somebody else's. It's on the same road. It's completely the wrong, completely the wrong house.
That's not suppression or repression, that's just
I don't know
drunkenness.
what that's just drunkenness, stupidness. Yeah, it's just wow.
Oh, I
Um,
don't, yeah, I've done plenty of stupid things.
interesting where we end up, innit? Interesting where we end up.
Somebody was telling me the other day. I just thinking back who it was, and now I've got the context. It doesn't really matter. He was that drunk. He was only 10 yards away from his house, decided he was going to have a little lie down on the grass. Apparently laid down until the paramedics came past them, like
No
driving
way.
between jobs, and saw him and
Saw
thought
him.
he was in trouble. Get out of the van and they're like, "Hey, you all right? You all right?" He was like, "Wait." So he's like, "Oh, no, I'm just trying." He's so embarrassed he just ran
Just having a
away.
nap.
Like, yeah,
Where do you live? Do you need it? No, I just live there.
just just
Just there.
ran off. It was so anyway, the things that we do. So, of a woo-woo nature,
Yeah, go
is
for
there
it.
anything burning at you? Because I have an idea.
Go for it. You lead. You lead.
Because you talked about getting the Kybalion in a silent, taking the Kybalion to a silent retreat. I think you talked about. Was it
Taking the Kybalion
the
to a
book?
silent retreat.
Yeah, I thought you took some books to a retreat.
I've not been on a silent retreat, no.
Was it not you that posted that in the Free Man then?
I did post about books. Did I
Yeah,
post about being on a silent retreat? Oh no, I'm planning or thinking about going to a silent retreat.
I don't know. Well,
I
maybe
don't
it
remember
shows.
writing that, but yeah, maybe I did write that. I definitely wrote about the book. So I'd read the Kybalion
Yeah,
last week, and that prompted what prompted the Buddhism thing. Somebody that I did a permaculture course with, Chris, he had asked me about doing silent meditations and whether I do silent meditations, group silent meditations. And that come up in conversation. And I was like, I've not really led anything like that before. And then he sent me a link to silent meditations. Where did the Kybalion? I've had the Kybalion for months, maybe even a couple of years actually, but I've never got around to reading it. But because of the conversation that I had with Chris about Buddhism, I've also got the Beginner's Guide to Buddhism, which is like a tiny, minuscule, thin book, really, really small.
I've got that somewhere.
Yeah,
On
really
that,
small, like a tiny, tiny. It's like, I don't know, 50 pages or something like that. It's ridiculously small. You got the same one?
I don't know
I don't know.
whether it's
Yeah,
the same.
tiny.
A
But
little one.
while I was digging out that one, the Beginner's Guide to Buddhism, I found the Kybalion as well, and I was like, okay, I'll dig that out because that looks quite interesting. Hermetic teachings, um, which I didn't know actually was from Thoth,
Yeah.
like the person I can't
Who
remember his
is
proper name now.
Hermes? Hermes Trismegistus.
That's the name. That's the one.
Hermes
Yeah,
the
that's why I
thrice
can't remember
great.
it because that's just gibberish to me. But yeah, so
Yeah, well,
otherwise known as Thoth. I was like, oh, that's interesting. So
or
yeah,
Hermes. Who
or
then?
Hermes.
So it's like
Yeah.
Thoth was the dude in pre-Egyptian
Hmm.
times. They called him Thoth. I think he was actually known as Hermes, and they called him Thoth. And somebody else. Then the Greeks took hold of it with Hermes, the god of
Hmm.
wisdom. Then
Mm.
obviously the Romans and all of that, and then some of the like the law of attraction people, the new thought people in the
Yeah, New Thought people. Yeah,
last century.
and that's what's
Uh,
argued about who actually wrote that because it says the three initiates,
yeah,
but after researching, it actually went back to an author that used alternate identities as a lot of authors do. But yeah, he was one of those New Thought teachers from the early 1900s, late 1800s. And it was actually him that wrote the book.
and then
Um,
it comes all the way back to the law of attraction,
mm.
which of course the secret popularized and now is coming through with all the
But it's
manifestation.
interesting because the book, the Master Key, I
Yeah, the
think I
Master
read
Key principle. Yeah.
Master Key, which was
Did you
like,
do the exercises in it? Have you tried to work through it?
I did
The
at the
Master Key
time a long time.
system. The Master
Yeah,
Key
yeah,
system.
yeah, yeah,
Charles F. Harnell.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I
Have you
can't
ever
really
tried?
remember. I'll have to go back to it actually, but
I mean, it's from another time. It's like,
yeah.
as in 19th century or early 20th century, where we didn't
Mm.
have 6 second attention spans that you keep banging on about.
It drives me mad. Did you see my Instagram video yesterday? Did you watch it
Yeah, I
all?
lasted 10 seconds. Well, yeah, I got the point, Matt. Thanks.
Yeah, see ya. Yeah.
Oh, he's banging on
I
about
didn't
six
go. I
second
did that.
attention
That
span.
post wasn't about ranting. That post was about the school platform and how good it has potential to be so good in the community sense. But then I just went off on a little tangent, didn't I? Just started swearing a lot.
Yeah. The algorithm.
Yeah.
Um, so the master key system was from a completely other time. So I picked that up about, well, I can work it out, 10, let's just say 10 years ago,
Mm,
maybe a bit more, but certainly within the last 20 years, it came to my attention. And then at
mm,
one point I thought, because it was a correspondence course originally. And so at the end of each chapter, there's an exercise
yeah.
that is there to basically develop your powers of mentalism or mental control. And then,
Mm,
obviously, if thoughts are things, we have to be quite careful, for want of a better word, about what we think about because we're going to
yeah.
manifest it. And so
Mm,
this master key system, at least my understanding of it, was partly a series of meditations and exercises for you to get control over your mind, the
mm,
monkey mind.
mm,
Anyway, so it's like I'm going to do this kind of properly because he would send a week, send a chapter out a week, as I
yeah.
understand. So like the first chapter, it's basically sit still for half an hour, and you're
Okay.
like, I'm going to do that. Okay, I'm going to do that. I'll do that. And you're like, sit still in the chair for half an hour. It can't be that hard, can it? It's not that hard. Bloody hard.
Bloody hard.
Bloody
Yeah.
hard. And then, but I can actually, I can do it. So I did that for a week. Oh, okay. Oh, and then he's basically like, until you've mastered this one, you can't go on to next week. So I'm like, right, master it. So sit there for half an hour. You don't have to like close your eyes or anything.
Yeah.
Just sit
Just
there.
beat. Yeah.
Don't. And
Mm.
then you're like, this just proves to me like that one exercise was valuable. So it just proves to you it's only half an hour, 30 minutes.
How many distractions?
Oh my God. But from
Mm.
yourself.
Yeah.
From
Yeah.
yourself and
Mm,
this notion of doing. At the
mm,
time, I was working in the corporate world, and of course, time was valuable because get home. I mean, I was doing it after I put Seb to bed. He was a boy. He was a kid. Um, and anyway, so do that, get that. Then the next one is whatever, and they get progressively more complex, like visualizations, like visualize a flower with its roots and its petals, or get a photograph, look at the photograph. Well, we don't have photographs anymore. Look at the photograph, put it down, and then visual. I only did like five of these out of
mm.
whatever, however many's in the book. Um, I frankly got bored.
There you go. So I never read The Secret on the back of that because I read that book, but I did. I think I'm coming back to it now. It's within the last 10 years that I read that book, but I did rattle through it because I thought, well, I just want to read it, get the idea,
Yeah,
and then I'll go back and do the
yeah.
kind of thing. But I never went back to it. So, so well, it worked for me.
Because
But
we live in a
yeah,
different world.
yeah,
And this is one of the things that sort of Dolores Cannon was saying, and the people a little bit more in the woo-woo and a little bit more woo-woo regarding the QHHT and other things. They're talking about a shift to the new Earth.
mm,
They're talking about the Earth raising its vibration. They're talking about things getting faster. As a
mm.
result, as the Earth raises its vibrations, everything's getting faster.
I've
Karma's getting
been. Mm.
cleared quicker, and all of this. And then kind of like I can't help wondering whether all this attention span stuff is because of that, or are people saying everything's getting faster and the vibrations raising because they've got no attention span anymore? It's a bit of a chicken and egg. What do you think? Have you got any thoughts? I know it's the first time you've heard that.
Well, I've been observing the time speeding up for quite a couple of decades now. I've been saying like time's definitely speeding up. I always had it down to something completely different about frequencies because when like gravity affects time, the further you are away from the surface of the planet, time gets faster. And the theory of the planets expanding away or the universe expanding means that the planets are getting further and further away. So our gravitational distance from the sun is changing. So that means time's getting faster for us. I always thought that for a while. Um, I'm not sure that is the case, to be fair. But that was my ponderings for a
How
while.
would we really? How? I mean,
I don't
these.
know whether that would be relative because we'd still be experiencing it the same or what. I don't know. I don't know how that comes down. But yeah, frequency, higher frequency, it does make sense that time would be getting quicker. But would that affect our attention spans? I
No,
wonder.
no, I don't think so, Matt. I think what I was
Mm.
thinking there was our spend our. What was that?
I'm just wriggling my jaw.
Why? Because you can't.
Yeah.
Do you get clicks there? And you use stationary
You know,
tubes.
I puff my cheeks out as well. I stretch my cheek muscles every now and again as well. So if you ever see me
Really?
going, it's a really nice stretch of the cheeks. Keep elasticity, stimulate the meridian channels in your cheeks. There you
Actually,
go. Hob.
I get quite congested, like as you know. And
Mm,
if you do things like this and this, and if you press in here,
mm,
and if you do this, like a bit slower, and
mm.
this, and this, it bloody well helps.
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder, like, do we need anything else other than the knowledge to, obviously, some of this, you got these tubes that drain down your mucus that get blocked.
Hmm.
Well, I do.
All the
And
meridian
you,
channels around the face. I was
yeah.
sitting in a sauna or steam room the other day, and there was a little Chinese woman, and she just started slapping her legs, slapping her body, slapping her face, slapping her like just going through front, back, sides and stuff. And I was just like, there you go. I know exactly what you're doing. Somebody else might be sitting there going, she's mental, but I was just like, actually, you're following the
You mean
meridian
like this
channels up and
tapping or
no, no,
like,
slapping all the way down her body, down the front, down the legs, up the sides, And I was just like, well, I recognize those channels. You're following following meridian lines around your body. you know. It just made total sense to me. And there's so many different ways to stimulate. So you get the facial massages. I've been in a sauna before actually, and the woman that comes to yoga, she was in there and she was giving, I'll say, for full facial massage after a swim and stuff, just in the sauna. So it's all, it's, yeah. Again, some people would be sitting there going, "You're mental." Why are you trying not to laugh? You're gonna burst. It's gonna blow. It's gonna blow.
sorry, I'm just thinking of no, just thinking of her getting a
Maybe you
facial.
shouldn't say it. Maybe you
No,
shouldn't say it. You don't have to
some
say everything that
no,
comes into your
no,
brain.
no, you do not. No, I'm going to go back to the master key system.
Yeah. What were you saying about time and frequency?
I don't know, forgotten. It's to do with the fact that we can't. It's all connected, isn't it? That concentration spans are lessening. It seems to me that everything's busier. Is it because of just the way that we're living our lives, or is it because everything's speeding up? I mean, I don't actually know, but I did pull up the Kybalion, and it's on. I do have two screens.
Mm.
It's on the other screen.
It's an interesting read.
Oh yeah, I mean, I read it, but
I'm
I've
not.
read it, but
Yeah,
so the seven principles: mentalism,
yeah.
correspondence, vibration, polarity, rhythm, cause and effect, and gender.
Mm.
The polarity, I think you said something earlier that was triggering me on that, not like triggering negatively, but making me think about it, that polarity, duality, gender, gender, male and female, balance.
Masculine,
Um,
feminine. Yeah, yeah.
mm, um, mm. So why are we talking about this? Because you mentioned the Kybalion. I've started to get, I was quite keen on the law of attraction, and then I lost my way,
Mm.
completely, utterly lost my way. Fell off the wagon, if you like, and just totally forgot about it and allowed
Mm.
life to get in the way. I'm getting back into it now,
Mm.
um, not before time. And this, and I think I was getting, so I've been away, and then I was
Not
looking
in
at this,
prison.
no, not this week.
Not this
Um,
week.
and I was looking into this while I was away, and then you pop up with the Kybalion and Buddhism. So once again, a little bit of a synchronicity, and then you popped up
And
on the school chat.
mm, an interesting link even to our ramblings at the start of this call regarding neural plasticity on the neural networks and what we think turns into subconscious actions and how, and it links quite nicely into that because sorry, I'm getting trippy visions on my screen because of the sun's coming through some slats behind me.
It's a
um,
shame we can't see it.
yeah, so everything comes from thought, basically. Everything comes from thought, and what we think becomes reality. And even if it is just behavioral patterns or manifestations into the physical, um, I'm a firm believer of that. And going back to the pyramids, actually, briefly, you
This
asked
is
me
last
how
minute.
that how they come about, and in the law of one, they said they come about by thought. And at first, when I kind of, or the power of the mind or something, at first, when I first heard that, I kind of visualized telekinesis. So a collection of humans, ETs, whatever they were, moving stones by telekinesis. But also when I read, I can never remember the name of the book, the Mahabharata, whatever it is, the one with the
Oh yeah,
Bhagavad Gita in it, yeah, the bigger version of that with Arjuna and all that
Mahabharata.
kind of stuff. They quite often talked in there when they created a city, they literally stood there and watched the walls form in front of them. And the city was built and manifested into being and stuff like that. And then I was like, oh, well, actually, if I think about that and that corresponds to the law of one and the description of how the pyramids were built, they were brought into being by thought. And then you can just, like, now I'm seeing it as a manifestation of thought coming into the physical. And also, after reading the Kybalion, when it says everything comes from the all, that's what they call
Mm,
God in that is the all.
yeah.
And we are in the physical realm. It's basically the all is in meditation or in a dreamlike state. And everything comes from thought in that regard. So the material world is what we see as a material world, which, it's still vibration and frequency, but it all comes from thought. So everything is thought into creation. I mean, potentially, like me being a boon, I was thought into creation, but not literally just like I see a kid now and there it appears, but like it developed through the womb and everything like that. So it just put, I think after joining some dots recently, it's just put that coming from thought into a whole different perspective. And I'm not sure that in this current 3D reality we're in at the minute, it is as accessible as it once was. But
Mm,
I also believe that we're going round because everything is cyclic. We're going round to a point where it will be possible again. And potentially, again, as it touches in the Kybalion, the more we raise our frequency, the higher we get to that kind of higher end of the polarity where we become one again and everything appears to stop moving. I think it gives the example of a spinning wheel. When it spins so fast, it starts to stop and even reverse. Like it doesn't appear to be moving, does it? So when we get to that higher frequency, we will have the potential to call things into manifestation. I think it's a lot harder to manifest things nowadays because of the denser energy that we're in, that lower frequency energy that we're in. But I have manifested all sorts of stuff in my life, so I'm a firm believer of having the
all right.
vision, obviously doing the work towards it. You can't just go, right, I'm going to sit here and meditate but potentially once
But
upon a
you,
time, I believe that would have been the case. I
but you
really, I
also
really
have to.
strongly believe that would have been the case.
Sorry,
So
sorry. I'm
yeah,
so sorry. It's just
yeah,
facts.
cool.
We've talked about this before. It's very difficult, isn't it, to judge.
Yeah, yeah.
But just to pick you up on that, so I am looking back into all of this over the last week. I've started again, and a lot of it is about allowing.
Mm,
And so, to some degree, yes, you have to do work, but you also have to allow. You have to allow the flow.
yeah.
You can block the flow with resistance and fear.
Mm,
In a lot. So, yeah, I mean, there's it's you can do a little. I did a very interesting test once, and it was basically let's manifest a white feather of a certain size and a certain design, and there it was.
Mm.
Um, and yeah, I know I mean, going back like one stage, everything starts as a thought. We start as a thought
Yeah. Yeah.
because even if it's just like even if conception is as a result of an accident because of two people having unprotected sex and not being very careful, there's still a thought behind it, which the thought is to have sex.
Hmm. Yeah.
But more often though than not, though, the people who are born into this world come because two parents decide that they want a child.
Mm.
And we're just a thought. We start as a thought. It doesn't mean
The
that
thought.
they
Mm.
go, I want this child to look like this and do this, but they
Yeah.
probably do, and we probably don't come out that way. Well, yeah, it's so like the first principle of mentalism, the all is mind.
Yeah.
The all that there is mind. Second principle, correspondence as above, so below, as below, so above,
Micro
etc.,
to
etc.
macro. Yeah.
Yeah. Going back to the pyramids,
Yeah.
the people who have experienced past lives in Atlantean or Lemurian time through the QHHT, they all consistently, as I understand it, report that Lemuria and Atlantis were very advanced civilizations that were able to manipulate energy by thought, by science,
Mm.
by mentalism, by etc., 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 but got corrupted because of human desire. So they were like, for example, crossbreeding, the Minotaur of myth and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and knew how to harness various energetic sources, crystal power, for example, and then unfortunately got to a point where they developed it so much and were so sort of out of control with their drunk on their own power that they basically could have destroyed the world. And
Hmm.
the Atlantean deluge myth comes in that actually it was a deliberate act to cease this civilization and to stop this line of development and to take that technology, for want of a better word, away.
Hmm.
But some of the Atlanteans and the Lemurians survived and basically were allowed to survive and found their way to Egypt. And they are the ones who were behind the Egyptian pyramids. And then it was partly that the use of sound-based vibration connected with mind that enabled the pyramids to be constructed.
Hmm.
Um, and I don't know. We've never been, so we can't, as we said the other week. But it's like from all somebody, I was speaking to somebody who'd been to Machu Picchu who hiked that trail and was saying, "I just can't. Oh, were you there? It doesn't matter." So basically, looking at the structure in Machu Picchu, saying, I don't understand how any primitive society could have done this. Well,
Mm.
that's if you, and the pyramids are the same. It's only if you look at it from the viewpoint of today's knowledge, isn't it?
Yeah. It is. I
So I
mean,
don't
I even driving through Ripon the other day, you got the cathedral in the background,
know.
and then you got all these little buildings in the foreground, and it just almost always makes me wonder, just that we're supposed to be progressing as humanity, but these like cathedrals, some of these cathedrals are some of the most magnificent buildings and structures that I've ever seen in my life. And then you look around at the houses that are built today, it just looks shit, don't they? I'm not, they're just there are these housing estates that are popping up. They're just like flat pack houses, and they are absolutely diabolical. They're horrible to look at. Like
Little
this,
boxes.
so the architecture's like and the grandness of these buildings. And it's just like, surely there wasn't just a cathedral in the middle and everyone else was living around in mud huts and bloody wooden shacks. And then we've suddenly just started building this crap around it. There must have been, there's something wrong about how that is
You know
and
that most
and what
modern,
we understand about it. Like,
what it is, well, firstly, there was a different relationship between the church and the people. And so take a cathedral, for example. It's
mm,
it's a, it's a building to signify the worship of God and Christ.
As we
But
understand it today. See, I don't, yeah, yeah.
yeah, I see what you're saying. Was there something else going on there in the design? Did the
Like the
architects also?
harmonics, I think we touched on it before in one of the episodes, like the sacred geometry of the windows and stuff like that, the
Mm.
frequencies, and you look at the resonance of sound and the pipe organs and the sound healing. I think there was some immense magic that was happening in those
Well,
buildings.
don't forget that probably if you think about it, there's probably a lot of Freemasonry
Mm,
influence in the construction because the architects, the builders will have been
mm,
members of the Freemasons.
hmm
Without and I don't know whether the times work as to when Freemasonry started and the cathedrals
mm,
were built, but
mm,
I'm assuming that the Freemasons were around when the cathedrals were built, in this country at least.
hmm
And there are symbols on some of the cathedrals that
mm,
demonstrate the influence of Freemasonry. And Freemasonry is not just about this networking club. There are some sort of
mm,
like esoteric, as I understand it, because I'm not a Mason, I'm never elevator, so I don't know the secrets of the
mm,
Freemasonry. But some of it's been leaking out, and what we
mm.
understand is it's kind of esoteric knowledge that draws on things like the Kybalion.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
right, so you
Sacred
could,
geometry, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
so you could understand that an architect who's a Freemason, a high-level Freemason, would implement those things into these buildings that they're in charge
Mm,
of.
mm, mm.
And then you look at her, but then it's also about how has society changed, is where I was
Yeah,
coming from with this comment about the worship of God and Christ, right?
yeah.
How has society changed? Well, we don't worship that anymore. Whether
I
it's
don't.
right,
I'm not sure that we used to either. That's the thing. I don't think the people that created those cathedrals weren't doing it in the name of God. They were doing it in the name of healing in general, just the same as the pyramids weren't designated to a god. It was, like we said, with the pyramids on the ley lines, potentially to balance out energy of the planet, like to heal the planet and to keep
mm,
it balanced and keep the energy moving freely around the planet. I believe that the cathedrals and stuff like that, there is a theory that cathedral comes from cathode, and there were electricity plants as well with mercury and gold in the steeples and all that kind of stuff. But even without that kind of stuff, the pipe organs, the sound frequency, and the geometric shapes of the windows and everything like that, I just think they were massive healing centers for whoever was there previously. And I don't think they had anything to do with religion at all. I think they were just healing energy centers, sound, vibration, frequency to heal us, to heal the people. And it was free source. It was all free source. It wasn't like, I don't know, I suppose churches are free source now. You can just go to church. You don't have to pay to go to church. But like it was just there for the community, and everybody knew that that
right.
was a healing modality. That was the medicine. It wasn't a fix to patch over. It was how you stayed healthy and well and kept your frequency clean and vibrant and
I
stuff.
go in there
That's
every week.
just, yeah, it's just, well, whether you were there every week, any time that you were there, even with, because the windows wouldn't have had glass in it, so the pipe organs playing would have sent frequency out across the land, like the stained glass window. If you look at the round windows and you look at the geometry of the round windows and the patterning and the designs, and then you get one of those harmonic plates and put frequency and sound on that, you'll see the shapes appear that are in those windows,
I
you
see.
know. So I think the pipe organs that play mass vibration pummeling out through these windows and these shapes, sending frequency, healing
I
frequencies
see
out
what you're
whenever
saying
those pipe
now.
organs were played. So I think it was just a general bathing of healing in general for the population. That's what I reckon.
Built under the, yeah, but they were built in sort of the excuse for them to be built was religion. Well, they're
Health.
dedicated to religion, aren't they?
They are now, yeah. But
Who do you think
again,
they
the
were
same
built?
sim like they're across the world, cross continents, even the same sort of buildings. Like you can go any continent in the world and you'll pretty much find one of those cathedrals, or most continents in the world, you'll find one of those. Just the same as some of the